Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? I hope you're having the most amazing day or evening, wherever you're catching this live from. I'm going to give you guys a few moments to jump on, tag everyone. Hopefully, my comments work today. Right, everyone is tagged. How exciting! How exciting! Thank you guys for bearing with me. Postponing for an hour today. Very, very, very exciting. Late last night, my eldest son had his first child, well, his partner, she gave birth to his first child. So that is very, very exciting. So we've kind of like spent the morning going looking at his baby photos and just like we're just waiting. We're just waiting for him to call to let us know that we can come see it. It's very, very exciting. So, I'm a little bundle of energy and joy today. So good. If you're on live, say hi. Let me know that you're here so I know that my comments are working as well and then I can welcome you. If you're catching the replay, pop in the chat box replay so I know that you've done this training. Can see people on live today, so that is good. We are off to a good start. Off to a good start. So today I want to talk about alignment, okay? Today is all about clearing the runway so your desires can land, okay? And Emma, hi, good to see you. Yes, my comments are actually working today. Today is a good day, team. So today is all about clearing the runway. I want you to think of it like this, okay? As you choose your desires and as you decide that they're coming through, you open up pathways for them to get to you in your life, okay? And the work we do today is basically just clearing the obstructions off the path, okay? So the stuff in the way, it looks like your fears, the things that people have said to you over your life, you know, it's not possible, you're this, you're that, all of that kind of stuff. Stories that you have about yourself, about who you are, stories about what is and isn't possible in life, stories of, you know, how you're limited, stories that call, you know, your worthiness into question, your enoughness into question, feelings that don't support you having what you want, and, you know, reasons why you don't want it. Because here's the funny thing is everything in life is dual. So even though we think we want something, we also have reasons why we don't want it. So we need to get clear on those and we need to get rid of them. There is behaviors and ideas that block us from having what we want, and like distorted universal truths, blocks to receiving, all of that kind of thing. So we're going to dive into that today. The thing is life is constantly trying to get through to you, is constantly trying to bring you in alignment with what you want, what you desire, okay? And, you know, what you want is trying to get through to you. And in order to receive, we just have to clean and clear the pathway for it to land in our life. Okay. So one of the biggest things here is aligning with the outcome, or aligning with the outcome of your desire, or aligning with being the person who has what you desire. Okay, so it's all about alignment. And alignment just means that you are perfectly lined up with your desire. Okay, that is alignment. Sometimes we can be a little bit here, 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 and it's just about getting in alignment so that desire can come through. Okay, the thing is you are always in alignment with something. Okay, you're either in alignment with your desire, or you're in alignment with the lack of your desire. Okay, depending what frequency you're residing in, depending on what you think, believe. Okay, you're either in alignment with what you want, or you're in alignment with what you don't want. Okay, a lot of the time we try to manifest not something. So we're like, okay, I don't want to manifest having a low income month, but you're super focused on the low income month. So you end up manifesting it because you're focused on what you don't want. You're in alignment with what you don't want. Okay, you're either moving toward your desire or you're moving further away from it. Okay, you're either focused on the outcome, okay, focused on the desire landing in your life, or you're focused on why it's not here yet and creating stories about that, okay? Because we get a reflection of what we choose to focus on. Like I said, not something is manifesting that something. So if we're focused on avoiding pain, we tend to actually manifest that pain in our lives, okay? Rather than focusing solely on the desire, on the outcome that you seek, okay? It's all good and well to decide that you want something, but are you actually moving in alignment with it? Okay? Here's the thing is you can feel alignment. Let me know if you have ever felt your alignment with something. You've ever felt the feeling of being in alignment. Let me know in the chat box. Because the thing is trust me, you will know, because the sequence of events and that feeling is absolutely unmissable. Okay, you can feel alignment. There is a certain confidence. There is a unique flavor to the frequency. Okay, you feel it in your body. Okay, it's like, how do I want to explain this? It's like energetically you feel like it's locked and loaded, like you can actually feel the thing that you want. Okay, you have no idea how, you just know that it's coming together. There's like this tickle in your gut, in your sacral, and it's like an opening of the possibility. It's like your spidey senses can sense the thing is coming through. You generally know it's coming through right before it comes through. Coffee, water, coffee, water. It's been a big night. You know, something when it comes to alignment is like your whole life could look like it's on fire in your physical reality, okay? But there is something in you that knows 100% that it is coming together, that it is on its way, and that it is about to land, okay? And that knowing doesn't make any logical sense, but like it just feels like truth in your body. And we can all sense the truth, right? We can sense when we're lying to ourselves. We can sense when we're being true to ourselves, okay? And here's the flip side of that. Misalignment, when you're out of alignment, misalignment feels wrong, okay? It feels wrong in your body, in your mind, and in your heart, okay? You know, that anxiety, the anxiety that you feel is your body telling you're in a state of misalignment, okay? Palpable fear that you fear, like fear that you feel, like really intense fear, it's showing you that there's misalignment. Now, I don't just mean like when you're about to go and do something scary, like say you're going to go and do a Facebook Live for the first time and you feel fear in your body and it's a little bit scary. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that like jolt of this is not good, okay? You know, depression. Depression is showing you that the way that you're living, thinking, believing, and being is out of alignment with who you truly are, how you're meant to live your life. You know, when we start to manifest health problems, it's a key sign that we're living a misaligned life. Your body is like, your body holds the key, okay? Your body is always speaking to you. It is always guiding you all of the time. Sometimes over years of conditioning or whatever else, we've lost the ability to feel our intuition, to actually listen to our body. And, you know, when we come into spirituality and personal development, a lot of the work we're doing is getting back in touch with our body, with our intuition, so we can hear the cues that our body is giving us, you know, because if you don't tune into your body, you do miss the cues. Misalignment starts with a warning. Your body always tells you, okay? And that's just goes for like misaligned pathways, misaligned thoughts, misaligned feelings, misaligned beliefs, misaligned actions, misaligned behaviors. Your body's going to alert you instantly when things are off, when you are off. Who here has noticed? And we tend to notice more in hindsight, right? When your body gave you a cue that something was off and maybe you didn't listen to it, and then, you know, something happened and you were like, oh, my body was trying to tell me that this just wasn't right. Okay. Let me know. Let me know if you've experienced that where your body has told you very clearly when something is misaligned. You know, really, really, really common. And it just takes practice of being able to like feel into your body and listen to the cues, because it is always cueing you to try and get you into alignment. Okay. Now, when it comes to alignment as well, not all things we ask for require this big drastic shift into alignment. Okay. Some things just require a positive expectation. It really depends on what you've asked for. So if you've asked for, you know, the things that you've asked for have become, you know, they're a shift, that it's a life outside of the life that you've known. Okay. You want to become someone different in order to receive a different outcome, a different lifestyle. Or sometimes we just want to manifest like small things, just, you know, little desires, things that they want, things that we want, things that you want, you know. um if you've been in any one of my manifestation programs in the last year, you would have heard me talk about this. Is like one of the desires that I had for quite a while, is I really wanted a pair of Gucci shoes. Really, really wanted them. And I've always loved luxury stuff. Like, I love my designer things. Material things just bring me so much joy. And I love fashion. And yeah, I'm all about it. And so I really wanted to manifest Gucci shoes. And it's something that was on my list and like at the back of my mind. Okay. It wasn't something that I was like, right, I need to manifest this right now. I wasn't living in the lack of it or anything like that. Like, it didn't require much alignment for me to actually manifest them. And how I manifested them was so random, and so unexpected as well. But then it was like, of course I manifested these. So how I actually ended up manifesting them was, because I didn't go out and buy myself Gucci shoes, because that's not me manifesting them. I actually was gifted them. So my mum is a cleaner. So like, she has a full-time job, and then she has like a cleaning business on the side. She has lots of clients, she does lots of things. And my brother was selling his home. So she was quickly cleaning it before, you know, they come in and do the real estate photos and all of that kind of stuff. And it was quite a big job. She'd had to take like a day or two off work. And she called me and she was like, Toya, can you please come and help me? Because obviously I have a flexible business. I can drop things and go and do things if I need to. Like, I've got heaps of time. I don't work long hours or anything like that. I have such freedom in my life. And I'm a good wee cleaner too. I was raised by cleaners. I'm pretty good at this. So she rang me and she was like, can you please come and help me? And immediately I was like, oh, no. Like, the last thing I want to do is be cleaning fly shit off ceilings. Like, that is not a vibe. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, no part of me wanted to do this. But something in me was like, go and do it. Go and help your mother. And I was like, ugh. Fine, I'll go help her, because I love my mum and she does so much for me. So I very begrudgingly went and helped mum clean my brother's house. And I'm up on ladders and I'm cleaning fly shit off ceilings, and it's not a good time. And we're like there for a wee while, and my brother's got the most amazing, gorgeous partner. And she was upstairs, we were downstairs doing all that stuff. She was upstairs cleaning out her wardrobes or something like that. And she yells down the stairs, she was like, Toya, what size shoe are you? And I was like 7.5. And then mum was like, she's the same shoe size as me. And she was like, me too. And I was kind of like busy cleaning. And then she was like, I've got some and I like heard her say Gucci. Well, I threw my cleaning products. I ran up the stairs. I pushed my mother out of the way, not violently, but like, no. Because I knew she'd heard it too and she was closer. I've never run so fast in all my life. And I got to the top of the stairs and she's holding like a pair of Gucci shoes in my size. And she's like, I brought these like last year. I've barely worn them because they're a size too big for her. And she's like, and it's just annoying like having to wear like thick socks and blah, 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 blah. So she'd brought a nearly new pair of Gucci shoes and was standing there with them. And obviously I was up there first. And I got given a pair of Gucci shoes, unexpectedly, literally brand new. The ones that I wanted, from the most unexpected place ever. So it didn't require so much alignment and all of this kind of stuff for me to actually get into a place of receiving that material desire. It was pretty easy. However, I am the person who, you know, loves luxury. I wear luxury. I made a decision to be that person a few years ago because that is the type of person that I want to be. Like, I'm not the girl that shops at Kmart, and it's okay if you are. I'm not the girl that shops at Glassons. I just don't like low quality things. I like buying nice things. I like, you know, my wardrobe isn't fast fashion. It lasts forever. Like, there's just certain things that I really desire, and it's okay if you're not someone who desires that, but that's who I am. So I had become that person, and I was open and available for it to come to me any which way. I hadn't boxed it into the fact that, you know, I have to have a big sales month and then I can go and splash out and buy myself a pair of Gucci shoes or anything like that. I'm just open and available. Does that make sense, Tam? Hi, Helen. Are they working? Yes, they are. Okay, I just need to move my notes out of the way. So not everything requires a massive shift in alignment to bring you what you want, but life is always working on your behalf to get you into the place where you get what you want. Now, we have conscious choice, right? So I could have chosen not to go and clean that day because of the, like I said, no part of me wanted that. But there was an inkling of like, just go do it, Toya. So I just went and did it, right? I just followed that. There is very much so many different pathways happening at once. I could have said no that day, and my mum would have been the recipient of Gucci shoes, and I would have been extremely jealous, but happy for her. But I went, so I got them. Do you know what I mean? So we always have options. We can always, we're either in alignment with what we want or we're not, okay? We have choice. So one of the ways that people get pulled out of alignment is by focusing on and getting stuck in the how. Okay, who here finds that they're like, right, I'm going to manifest the thing, I'm going to manifest my highest cash month in business, or I'm going to manifest the love of my life, or I'm going to manifest a new car, or I'm going to manifest a new handbag, or I'm going to manifest a trip overseas, and then as soon as you decide that it's happening, that you want it, like you're good, who goes into, okay, but how? Who does that? Let me know in the comment section. I'm dying to know because I feel like this is the thing that trips people up the most is we get stuck in the how, stuck in the logic of it, and we start trying to plan it ourselves. Let me know, let me know, let me know. As soon as you start focusing on the how and trying to like put the how together in your mind, you start to rip yourself out of alignment, okay? Because the how is not your job. The how is the bit that you get to hand over and not even deal with. You just have to work on your side of the street. You know, if it's business success that you are manifesting, your job is to do business. Okay, show up, sell, do all the things that you need to do in your business. Okay, but leave the way it comes together to life, to God, to source, to the universe, whatever you relate it to. Okay, so who here struggles with the how? So the thing is with manifestation is it is a sequence, okay? And it is more than you just getting stuff. So you are given a desire. Like I said on day one, it is for a reason, okay? For a reason, okay? Like even my desire for Gucci shoes was a reason. At the moment when it came through, it reminded me of just how powerful I was on my manifestations. When I started to doubt a few things, that is when that manifestation landed and I was like, holy fuck, everything works. You know? So like everything has a reason. Everything has a sequence. Try not to. But definitely aware of not trusting enough. Yeah, and that's really, really, really normal. And I feel like you're quite far along on your journey as well. So like, you know that the how is like very much like bigger than we can ever put together. So anyway, you are given a desire. Like I said on day one, for a reason. You know, my desire for Gucci shoes is great. But it was also, it came at a time when I needed to remember my belief, when I needed to remember how powerful I was. So that was the reason, okay? And like I said, when you're given a desire, okay, manifestation becomes a sequence because it sets in motion a sequence of events. So, like, you say yes and you decide that it's happening, and next minute that decision, okay, that sets in motion a very specific sequence of events, okay? The thing is, the whole universe rearranges itself to give you your desires. Aren't you fucking special? Isn't that amazing? Okay. Like, you get this desire via an idea and you're like, yes, I want this. Okay, this is it. I've decided. Okay. And from that moment, there is a chord set out in the universe, okay, to that desire, right? And it kicks off a process, like a series of events that brings you into alignment with that outcome. Okay. Here is the thing. People are moved into position on your behalf. Okay. Certain events must take place in the world, in the universe, okay? And this all comes about to move you as well into a perfect position, into the perfect condition to receive what you want, okay? Thing is, as you evolve, you become, you learn, and you grow. And all of this like culminates, comes together to bring you what you want, okay? And when you least expect it, is usually when the desire manifests, okay? The things that have to take place for your desire to land in your physical reality is beyond the scope of your understanding, okay? Our human logical minds, they couldn't put it together for a second, okay? It could not even conceive for a moment that sequence. We couldn't put it together so perfectly. We don't have the power to move people we don't even know into position, okay? Here's the thing, is past, present, and future, it's all changing, it's all shifting, and it's all moving together simultaneously, okay? So, like, how do I want to say this? Do you get that when you choose a desire in the now, okay, there are past events that have to have taken place for that in order to happen? It's quite mind-blowing. Reality is like constantly shifting. And because we have free will, because we have choice, those choices impact the outcomes that we create. But you can just as much choose, like, to drop your manifestation. You can choose to shift to a new manifestation. Like, the choices you're making right now are impacting past things. So it's all moving forward. It's all moving simultaneously, past, present, and future, okay? Our choices, we have choice. We have conscious choice. You know, we can choose to go after this desire, or we can choose to go after that desire, and we can change. Nothing is completely set in stone, okay? There are many pathways that we can choose in our lives, okay? So the thing is you as a human being cannot control this process, okay? You cannot human it, is what I like to call it. Because the thing is if you even tried to human it, if you tried to control it and make it happen, you'd mess it up, right? If you tried to control it, you'd wreck it, because you do not have like the ability to see all the chess pieces, okay? You don't have the ability to see everything that needs to be moved into place, okay? Because you don't know the people, you don't know the events, you don't know all of that. But part of you feels and has a knowing, and that's why you've got a desire. Does that make sense, team? Let me know in the comment section if you're following, or if you need me to clarify anything. And this is why we have to leave the how up to God, source, universe, life, whatever you relate it to, okay? We've got to hand that part over, because that part is not our job, okay? And it is not our job to control it. It is not our job to think of it, but it is our job to be available for it, okay? And if that means you have to look at new possibilities and open yourself up to possibilities, then that's cool. It just means that you can open a new pathway. But the way that it comes in is generally never the way you thought it would. Trust me. I've manifested some crazy shit. and it never quite comes together the way that I thought it would. Who here has manifested something and like the way that it came together was just like wild, like absolutely wild? Let me know in the chat box. I would love to know. Tell me your story. And that's what we've got to remember, okay? Our work, our side of the street, is to clear whatever's in the way, okay? Is to open up to the possibilities, because the possibilities are endless, okay? It's to take steps in an alignment when we're shown what steps to take, and to be open, just to be open and available for things to land. Because sometimes in the manifestation sequence, there is an undoing, there is an uncoupling, okay? Sometimes there is some discomfort. Sometimes there is a lot of physical work to do. You know, one thing that is really interesting here for me is because I've been in business for like years and years and years. And I've had like many different businesses, and I had like showbiz, I ran shows and stuff like that. And then I was a PT and a makeup artist and stuff, all of that kind of stuff. So when I came into coaching, I was like, oh, I know business, this is going to be easy. But it wasn't. It was anything but. But in that process, the work that I had to do, like I had to learn a new way of selling, a new way of marketing. I had to learn like so many different things. There was a lot of physical business work for me to do to get to where I am. And there's still physical business work for me to do to get where I'm going. So sometimes there is a lot of actual physical work and learning that you have to do. Sometimes the path is a little bumpy. Sometimes it can be quite hard. And sometimes you have a lot to learn, a lot to learn. But sometimes it's effortless. Sometimes it's like just Gucci shoes being handed to you on a random day when you're cleaning fly shit off ceilings. You know, sometimes you are tested in the void to make sure like you truly want what you want, that you're really available for it. Sometimes it's just like flow, it's synchronistic, it's easy. It just shows up to blow your mind, okay? Because there are reasons behind why you manifest what you want. It's not just to bring you what you want. Sometimes you manifest little things like I did with the shoes to like remember like how things work, to believe in yourself, all of that kind of stuff, okay? But either way, life, God, whatever you relate to, it always brings it to you in the most perfect way, okay? The most perfect way via the path of least resistance, okay? And whether that path is long, short, smooth, or bumpy is literally made up of our resistance, right? So let me tell you about how I manifested my Mercedes last year, because it's such a good story, and it kind of like it shows you how, like, you know, in the moment when you think it's least likely, something can come through, okay? So who here knows the story? Who's here would have been in Flirt last year? Because I think that was their program afterwards. So I have desired a sexy new like European model car for years, okay? Like, I like my nice things, okay? I love the feeling of luxury clothes. I love looking at nice things. It gets my sacral turned on. I love experiences. Like, I vibe so hard with that. And for me, driving my old Honda 7-seater station wagon, my mum car, my family wagon, it just wasn't the ultimate vibe at all, okay? It was a really good car. It was, you know, practical. It never had an issue. It never broke down. It didn't cost me any money. Like, it was a wonderful car, okay? And I held like a lot of gratitude for it, okay? Like, I didn't hate on my car. I wasn't like angry at it. I wasn't like, oh, this isn't good enough. Like, I'm better than this. There was none of that. Like, I was so grateful. So grateful I had an amazing working vehicle that cost me, like, you know, it didn't cost me anything. It was great. But I really wanted an upgrade, okay? And so I used to drive around feeling like immense gratitude for my car, whilst also desiring more, okay? and this is the vibe, okay? You know, I'd be driving around imagining that I was driving like a Maserati or a Mercedes or a Porsche or something sexy like that, okay? I do a lot of my manifesting when I'm driving, like a lot of imagining while I'm driving. I just like get in the zone, be like shoulders back, like visioning myself, like imagining my hands wrapped around a sexy steering wheel, you know, and feeling like a hot blonde with my big black sunglasses on. Like I just get myself in the zone. And I feel like such a badass, okay? And I'm just literally driving around my Honda 7-seater. But I really, really wanted a new car last year. Like, I really did. And luckily for me, like, both my brothers now own car yards, but one of them had a major car yard at the time. And so, you know, he buys and sells luxury cars, cheap cars, all of the things all of the time. Like, all of our family get our cars from him. It's amazing, okay? And you know, like selling and buying through him is quite an effortless process. It's great. Just drop the car off, get him to sell it, buy a new one. Very, very, very easy. So he had an old model Porsche and it was about 20K. And I really, really wanted it. I loved the like tan leather seats and blah, 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 blah. But no matter how hard I tried, I just like wouldn't get myself into a position where I had like a high enough month that I could just go and buy it in cash and blah, 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 blah. So it was a little bit disheartening because I'm like, why is this not working? I really want this car. But I decided that I was getting a new car. I was like, this is it. So being the insane risk taker that I am and a little bit delulu, I decided, right, that's it. I'm buying a new car. So I gave my car to my brother and told him to sell it. And he was like, excellent, I'll have it sold for you within a week, you know, I'll have it sold for a few thousand more than what you paid for it because they're worth more now, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was all going to fall into place. It was all going to be effortless, easy, and perfect. And then I just had to find a new car, just a new one that I wanted, okay? And I was just going to check it out. A week passes, and the car hasn't sold. And I was like, oh, that's annoying. Another week passed. And everything in my world turns to shit. All my kids' dads stop paying child support, like one after the other in the space of a month. I start having issues with client payments. Like, I'm like starting to really freak out. I'm like hitting burnout because I'm like live launching over and over and over and over and over again. And I just like, I cannot run my business like this anymore. So I'm like carless because I'd given my car to my brother thinking it would be a week. So I'm stuck at home and I can't really go anywhere unless I like get mum to take me or I Uber or whatever. And you know, that can get quite expensive Ubering everywhere, especially when you're a mum of 4. So, and all of a sudden money is just like pulling teeth. And I'm like hitting brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. And it got to a point where I was just like, I can't handle this anymore. Like, I just need a break. And like, I just was like, I need to take time off my business. I need to focus on writing my book. I cannot launch another thing right now. Like, I just cannot bring myself to launch something else. And it was like, Toya, just, you know, focus on writing your book, take a break, take some space. So I did. Okay. So when it made the least sense, you know, without my backup of child support and all of the extra things, I stopped selling everything. I had like my private clients and a small mastermind. That was it. And I was just on a break. It was absolutely insane. Like, to the outside, it was like, what are you doing? Everyone was like, this is not good. You need to keep working. Like, and I was like, I just can't. I just cannot bring myself to do this. And then I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna use the money from selling the car just to float me through. Like, I don't care. I just need a fucking moment off. I just need like 3 months off. Like, that's fine. But guess what, guys? The car doesn't sell. And, you know, I'm going into, because my mum cleans my brother's car yard as one of her jobs, and we always go out on Sunday for brunch, and usually afterwards I'll go help her clean the car yard. So we go out and we have champagne, we have brunch, and it's amazing, and then we go and be cleaners, and it's quite fun. So I couldn't see my car in there for weeks. But I kept asking mum kept asking my brother, and no, it's not sold. And I was like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden I was like, man, I could really use that money. Like, I could really use that money. Like, things are getting to the point where it's feeling a bit close. And I was starting to feel like in a state of scarcity. I was starting to feel worried. I was starting to feel stressed. Okay. By this point, had completely forgotten about the idea of buying a new car, and I was just trying to get through, right? But the universe had not forgotten that I had made that decision, okay? And it had everything lining up for me, but I couldn't see it in the moment because all I could see was the problem, okay? So I did all this work on myself. I got myself into a state of positive expectation, forgetting about the car because I'm just like, fuck, I don't even care about this right now. Like, I just need to like deal with like business and child support and money and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm like doing that in a work, regulating my nervous system. All of a sudden, at the car yard, this cute little black Mercedes turns up. And I'm like, oh my God, Mom, you should totally buy that for you as an upgrade. And then she's like, Toya, why don't you buy it? And I'm like, I need a 7-seater. Like, I need something bigger. And I'm so not buying a car right this second. But I start to warm to the idea. It's beautiful. It's got like off-white interior. It's just like, it's gorgeous. And it's a hatchback, which is totally unpractical for someone with 4 kids. But like, my children are growing up and leaving the nest. But I start to warm to the idea. Unbeknownst to me, that car was actually already mine. And it hadn't sold in ages. And the funny thing was, what I didn't know is that Mum was already thinking of getting it for me for my birthday, but was hesitating on it because I was like, oh, I need a 7-seater, I need an SUV, blah, 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 blah. The day before my birthday, the guy at the car yard, I'm like, oi, convince Mum to get this for me. Haha, joking. I had no idea. It was like literally a joke. And Mum was like, okay, let's take it for a test drive. So Mum and I play like manifestation games all the time where we like, hold on 1 minute. Can you please turn the TV off? I'm live. Children. So the day before, and we're like taking this car for a drive, and I think we're playing one of our manifestation games, and you know, we're like taking it for a test drive, pretending that it's mine, thinking that it's amazing, pretending that we're going to buy it. Like, I think that we're doing all of the manifestation games that we play with things. And the next day, she calls my brother and was like, that car's Latoya's, I'm buying it for Latoya. And he's like, sorry, someone else is actually buying it. And she was like, absolutely not, I'm buying it for Latoya, you need to sort it, okay? She was like, give me the money from Latoya's car, like, and blah, 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 blah. Turns out the second Mum said that she was interested in buying the car, all of a sudden my old car had magically sold. So the next day on my birthday, I was gifted a Mercedes. But not only that, I was gifted a Mercedes and the money from my car. How crazy is that? Life knew the whole time, okay? Like, I had to get rid of my old car in order to get a new car, okay? But the way it went there, the way it all came together, there was moments that I didn't think it was going to happen. There was moments where I thought, shit, I'm not going to manifest this new car. There was moments that were quite scary, but I got it. And it was very unexpected because, like, my mother's not rich. She works very, very, very hard. Now, since I first told this story, my ex actually showed up and ended up like paying Mum for a lot of the car as well. So the car, I manifested the car twice. He wanted to like contribute, blah, 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 blah. And so how mental is that? So since I last told the story, half of the car was then paid for by my ex. So, you know, things can happen in the most amazing, amazing, amazing ways, okay? Hopefully the background noise is not too loud. I wish I could go and get up and tell Noah to turn it off. So, even though it looked least likely, after that I had like my highest income months over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. After that, like after that moment, like everything changed. But I had to get rid of the car in order to get the new car, okay? I had to, you know, go through a moment of like not having very much money in order to learn a lot of stuff about money, okay? Like there were reasons why all of this had to happen the way that it did. Does that make sense, team? So something else I want to talk about here is being available for the real manifestation. Hold on, guys. I wish I could. Can I pause? I don't think I can. I don't think I can. The background noise is just driving me absolutely bonkers, and Noah is apparently not listening to me today. Noah! Turn the TV off. Okay. So, being available for the real manifestation. Remember how I said I wanted a Porsche? And I couldn't understand why I wasn't getting it? It's because something better was on its way, okay? So the key here is moving into alignment with the highest outcome, okay? With the highest, best outcome. And the reason why this is important is because sometimes we don't quite know, okay? Sometimes we think we want something, but what is actually coming is better than what we want, and it's coming in a better way. So the key is being able to move into alignment and looking at things from a really emotionally detached place, okay? Sometimes life has bigger plans in store for us, bigger than we can see for ourselves, okay? But we, in our humanness, cannot see past this moment in time, okay? Past this problem, past this desire. We can't see past maybe our next step. Maybe our next step is quite uncomfortable and we can't see past that, you know? Something that was really, really, really interesting is earlier this year is I manifested a speaking gig. So public speaking is my worst fear. But it's really weird, you know, with background in stage and performance. I see myself, my future self on stage coaching from the stage. Now, with a fear of public speaking, that is a problem, right? And, you know, that used to really hold me back in the beginning of my coaching career as well, because I was so nervous and so like activated by doing lives, because it was just like, it was me having to conquer my worst fear. But I got, you know, courageous with it. And an opportunity came out of the blue this year because I was manifesting my highest alignment, like really focusing on what, like letting go of the logic and focusing on like what is in alignment for me, what is my highest timeline, what is the most highest aligned thing for me right now. And then a speaking gig came through. I'm actually going to have to jump off for a second and I'm going to have to turn that off. I love children. I'm back. He must have like turned it on and then just left. It's playing with me today. So where was I? Yeah, so I was talking about, what was I talking about? I was talking about the speaking gig. So, you know, that was manifesting my highest alignment, okay? But the thing is when that came through, everything about me was like, hell no, I cannot do this. This is the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. This is like, it is just too much. My whole body was like, ugh. And I was like, okay, sweet, I'm going to do it, because I know that if something like that important comes through, it's because it's for my highest alignment. It means that I have to like put my fears, everything aside and just go and do it, okay? So sometimes we can't see past the next step because the next step is terrifying, right? But life sometimes has much bigger plans in store for us, okay? Bigger than we can see for ourselves. So important to get this, okay? So, you know, a lot of the time we prejudge what we are being faced with as bad, okay, or as a problem, or as it's not working, or as too scary, to this, to that. The thing is, it's always working. It's never wrong, okay? It's always like what you need to move yourself into that next position. You know, for me, taking that big step and getting on stage and doing my first speaking gig and all of that went with it, you know, that was moving me into being the person that I see, you know, the vision that I see of the future. Because something that I have an ability to is I'm a little bit prophetic. I can see visions of the future for myself and for other people. And like, I could feel that. That's something that I'm meant to do. So it's where I'm going. So that next step that was terrifying, that was of my highest alignment, I could have been like, "Ooh, this is terrible, like terrifying. I can't do that. I can't do that," but I did it anyway, you know. And sometimes, like in the instance of manifesting the car, when everything looked like my whole life was on fire, looked least likely, you know, what I was being presented with looked like a freaking problem. But it wasn't. It was life moving on my behalf to give me everything that I wanted in a better way than me going out and paying for it myself. Do you know what I mean? That way. So, it's always giving you what you need in order to move you into your next position, okay? You've got to trust it, even when it looks like it's on fire, even when it looks like a problem, even when it looks terrifying, okay? The work is always, 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 always being open to the best possible outcome that leads you into your highest alignment, okay? Because life is constantly calling us into our highest alignment, okay? But we have choice. We have choice. We have choice to not go with it, okay? We have choice to prejudge what's going on and get it wrong. Because a lot of the time when we prejudge what's happening in our human world, we don't have all the facts. We can only see what's happening in our reality. We don't see what's actually moving behind the scenes, okay? And a lot of the time we get it wrong. A lot of the time we perceive something as a problem, but it's not. That is your portal to your next level. Does that make sense? Are we following? Let me know in the chat box, okay? So, you know, you're always being led to the best possible outcome to your highest alignment. You're always being called. Sometimes our logical minds just get stuck at that bit that we don't want to do. Okay? And we can stay there for quite a while because we're not willing to move forward. Okay? You know, sometimes our minds get stuck at the thing that we have to lose. Because sometimes we have to lose things in order to gain the thing on the other side, okay? I had to get rid of the Honda 7-seater in order to get the beautiful Mercedes. You have to get rid of the misaligned clients in order to move to the next phase in your business to start taking on aligned clients, okay? So sometimes there is something that you have to let go of, something that you have to lose. You know, maybe sometimes it's that you've got to sell the house because you need the money to invest in this thing and then you're going to get a better house a year later. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, getting rid of the old car to get the new car. Sometimes it's you have to leave the wrong partner in order to be open and available for the better partner. And sometimes that can be really hard as well because, you know, you have an attachment to this person even though you know it's not working and it's not the relationship that you want. But, you know, sometimes we have to be courageous enough to walk away from what is misaligned in order for us to receive what is aligned, okay? Sometimes it's a misaligned business or a misaligned business model, you know, a way of doing business that just doesn't support you. You know, for me, when I first came to the coaching industry, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I literally like signed up with a coach. I had known that I was meant to become a coach for maybe a year. Like, that was never something I wanted to do in the beginning of my personal development journey. Like, I just thought that is not for me. But the reason I thought that is not for me is because I didn't think that I'd ever be enough to be someone that some people would respect and listen to, because I had all of these weird stories about myself that I needed to work through. But over the years, you know, when I was personal training and makeup, people were going, you should be a coach, you're so good, like, you know, just working with you in this capacity is changing my life. And then I realized, I was like, I don't really care about, like, you know, changing people's bodies, transforming people's bodies. It's just not a vibe. I don't care. I care about, like, their inside world, what makes them tick, their dreams and desires, like, There was just so much more that I cared about. And so there was a natural progression there. But like, I don't know. So I ended up with a business model that was like my coach's, and I am not like her. I do not have the capacity to move at that speed and do things that way, but I didn't know any other way. So it wasn't until like I burnt myself out that I was like, wow, I need to think of new ways of doing this, and I need to find my own way and the way that works for me, because the way that I'm doing it is not the business model for me, right? So sometimes we have to let go of the wrong business model. I've had a lot of businesses over the years, but like I had to get rid of them in order to come to this point, okay? Sometimes, you don't get the Gucci handbag because there's a Chanel right around the corner. Sometimes it's you don't get to go on the trip that you really, you're manifesting this trip and you want to go to Hawaii in October and you're like, yes, I'm manifesting, it's happening, da, 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 and it doesn't come together. But it doesn't come together because there is a reason. Like life knows more than you do. And maybe it's because there is a better trip, or maybe it's because something is going to happen at that time, at that place, and it's not going to be right for you. Years ago when I was a makeup artist, and like I was obviously I must have been maybe like a year into my manifestation journey, and I was just manifesting shit left, right, and center. And then I was like, there was like a workshop opportunity came up by my favorite makeup artist in the UK, Mitchell, and he's like amazing, like oh my god, incredible. And so we was launching these workshops in Sydney, and like he like told us about them online, and then you had like I think 3 days to snap them up and purchase them, right? And I'm sure the workshops were in Sydney or in like Australia or somewhere like that. It was close by, but it was not New Zealand. And I can't remember, it was like $1,000 or $3,000 or whatever. And they came and I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this. I'm manifesting this. And I just manifested my Louis Vuitton handbag before that effortlessly and lots of other things. And I was like, no, it's happening. It's done. I'm doing it. I'm doing these workshops. This is divine. It's for me. This is just like everything I've ever dreamed of. Amazing. Okay. And so the 3 days passed and I didn't manifest the money for the ticket. And I was selling all these things, in my makeup business and my PT. And I was like, so weird. Like no one's buying. Like what the hell is going on? This is like bizarre. I always get what I want. And like I couldn't get the right flight time. Anyway, it just did not come together. And what I didn't know at the time, because I was so disappointed, I was like, oh, the manifestation stopped. Because very like new to manifestation, I was like, it's not working. Like the things that I'm doing aren't working. Like, why isn't this working? And I really like shamed myself for it, and I made myself very, very wrong. Like it didn't work for me, and like like I'd lost my magic or something like that. And it wasn't for a very long time did I find out why why it didn't work out. There was a reason I didn't get the money. There's a reason things weren't selling so that I could go and buy that thing. Okay, but I didn't know at the time. But months and months and months and months and months later, I can't remember how long, it might have been 6 months later, 9 months later, when the time came, the entire world was locked down and COVID. Now, I did not perceive a pandemic stopping me from being able to do that. So had life allowed me to make that purchase, to sign up for that, I would have lost the thousands of dollars to do that. I would have lost my accommodation. I would have lost my flights. Like, it wouldn't have gone ahead anyway. So life was like, no, you can't do this thing. And I was like, what? I didn't understand. I just thought there was something wrong with me and I couldn't manifest. But life had like, it had said, no, this is not aligned for you. This is actually misaligned. You just can't see it, Toya. Okay. So I just couldn't see it at the time. And it knocked my confidence. But then when COVID hit, like quite a wee while later, I was like, oh my God, that's why I didn't do this thing. That's why it didn't work out, because life knew better. Okay. Sometimes we think we know everything, but sometimes there is like our soul, life, universe, God, source, whatever you relate it to, knows that either something better or this is actually going to be detrimental to you if you manifest this thing. Okay. Sometimes we just can't see that. Okay. So, it feels like a loss at the time, but months later, the truth is always revealed, or moments later, the truth is revealed. Okay. But it's the bit that looks like a loss that we're not willing to let go of is the thing that sometimes we have to learn to let go of, okay? Because that is the pre-game for what is to come. And this is so important. Your job is to always trust and follow the synchronicities and the cues and be like surrendered to it in a way that you don't make yourself wrong when something doesn't come through, because it is always this or something better. It's a level of trust that you need to have within yourself, okay? It's your job to release the idea of how it has to come about and surrender that part to the universe, because the how is not your problem, right? Like, it's always being designed better than your human mind could possibly ever imagine. Noah, please hop out right now.
What time are you done?
About 20 minutes. Okay. So release the idea of the how, surrender that part over, okay? Because it's not your problem. Like, God, universe, sources got you, and it's got you in a way you wouldn't ever believe. It's always been designed better than our human minds, our little human brains can imagine, okay? And it's designed before we get the desire, okay? And a lot of the time people get real tripped up with manifestation, and they get in this real space of resistance, and they decide it's not working, or it's not working fast enough, and they then go and decide that it's because the thing isn't available. And it's never because the thing is available. It's because you're either missing something or something better is coming. But it doesn't mean that something better isn't coming. The only way the something better won't come is if you completely give up. Then you choose something different, or you choose not to manifest, or you choose to just stay the same, okay? So that breaks my heart when I see people limit themselves in such a way that they believe that it's just not the thing. Okay, let's chat about releasing limitations. So for those of you who are quite far down this journey, you'll know what a limitation is. It's like our beliefs, like our stories about why we can't have it, like the ways in which we limit ourselves. And we have our resistance, which is why you don't want it, okay? So I've made a cute wee table here, and I will put that in the group as well, because it just gives you like an idea. Good life lesson. Yeah. I'm a 3-5 in human design. I don't know if you know much human design, Helen, but like my life is a series of lessons. That is what I'm here to do, is learn things the hard way and the easy way, and then tell others all about it. It's a lot of life lessons. But it's fun though. I remember that used to I used to limit myself by my human design, and I used to like make it a bad thing when I found out, the three lines can sometimes have a bit of a difficult path. But now it's like, oh, it's fun, like, because I get to experience so many different things, and I'm so fucking smart. And when I do manifest the thing, it's always bigger and better than I could always ever imagine. So in my little table, I've made, and this is what you're kind of going to be doing in your homework as well, like I've made like one side's like desire, middle is resistance, and then I've got limiting beliefs. So I'm going to go through some, and these may not be your exact resistance or your exact limiting beliefs, because we're very unique. We all have different conditioning, upbringing, that kind of thing. We all have different ideas about things, okay? But I'm doing this to kind of like showcase the idea of how to like tap into it, okay? So say your desire is that you want wealth, okay? But then you have resistance to it, and that looks like you're worried that you'll lose your family. You're worried that you'll lose the money. You're afraid that you're going to be disliked. You think you're going to become a bad person, and all of that kind of stuff. And so then your limiting beliefs would look like you feel like you're not worthy, okay? Maybe you think money is hard to make. Maybe you think you're incapable of managing money. Maybe you think that if you have money, you're going to die. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, these are the limiting stories. So Say your desire is, you want to make more money in your business, but your resistance to allowing yourself to make more money is, shit, I'm going to have to pay more taxes and I really don't want to pay more taxes. Or you think more money is going to make more problems for you. It's more responsibility. You're going to have to expand your team. That's really scary. Maybe you've got a fear of money itself, right? So that's your resistance. But your limiting beliefs might be, more money equals hard work, more team equals I'm going to have to pay more people, paying more taxes means I'm losing my money. Like, you have all of these stories around why it's not a good thing. Okay. Maybe you want to manifest an item. Okay. And then you have like all of this, there's like resistance to it, which is like, you fear the value of it. You're worried about losing it. You worry about attracting attention, all of that kind of thing. Maybe your limiting beliefs about it is it's too expensive. I don't have that kind of money. Who am I to want that? I have the most amazing designer things. I'm not rich. Like, I'm just like average, okay? Like, I'm not there yet, but I have the most beautiful things. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful things. I'm a single mother of 4. Like, I do make good money, but I've got to, like, run a business, be the sole provider for 4 people, like 4 other people other than myself. So, like, I do not have disposable income to just go and throw at Gucci shoes and fucking Louis Vuitton handbags and all of the beautiful things that I own. I still manifest them, okay? Because I don't believe that I have to earn X amount of dollars in order to get the thing. I just believe if I want it, life's going to bring it to me. And that's what it does. Maybe you want to manifest love. And your resistance to it is like, you're like afraid. You have like a lot of past hurts. You have like fears of rejection. You like don't trust yourself. You have a lot of stories about your worthiness, your enoughness, that your limiting ideas are that you're not worthy, that you're not enough, that true love is maybe hard to find, that maybe what you want isn't available, that, maybe being in a relationship means you're going to lose freedom or lose yourself. Maybe you want to like manifest more clients, but like you have resistance to it because you're like, oh, what if I have to refund them? What if I'm judged? What if it's unsafe? What if it means I'm going to have no time? I don't have capacity for more. And then like your limiting beliefs might be more clients, less time. Beliefs about what you think that you need to do, beliefs about pricing, beliefs about payment, okay? So we always have like, resistance to the things we want. Maybe you want to start a business and then you're like, can I do it right? Am I capable? Is this the right path? Am I the person? Yada, yada, yada. And then maybe your limiting ideas is like, it doesn't work for you. It never works for you. You're not the person that can have a business, beliefs about how businesses are meant to go and about how they fail in the first 5 years and all of that kind of stuff. We all have resistance to what we desire. We always have duplicitous energy towards what we want. Okay. And, your limiting beliefs, they're your stories of why it's not logical, why it's not possible, why it can't happen, and why it is not working, okay? Your stories about why you aren't enough, the stories about why you aren't worthy, the stories about why you aren't ready, why you aren't a match, okay? And your resistance to it is the reasons why you don't want it. Because we always, always have reasons why we don't want something. Okay? Sometimes we want something, we don't want it because it's going to cost us money. Sometimes we want something, but we don't want it because we think we're going to lose it. Sometimes we want something, but then we don't want it because we're scared we're going to lose everyone if we get it. Like, we always have that duplicitous energy. So the reason why we need to look at this and we need to clean it up is because when you have duplicitous energy around your desire, so say you want something and you don't want the thing at the same time, it can't come through because it's like push-pull, okay? And like, you can only create to the level of what you believe. So if you have a lot of limitations and you have a lot of limiting belief and limiting stories around what you want, you can only create to what you believe. Okay. So those stories are going to cap you where you are. And this is the work that I do one-to-one with my clients. It's just like getting them to see it differently, getting them to shift this stuff, getting them to like be open and available for their stuff to land. It happens very, very quickly. Yeah, so there's always a part of you that doesn't want it. So when you get clear on both and you shift it, then you're like, you're aligned, you're open, you're ready, and your desires will land so fucking quickly, it will blow you away. So however long it takes is however long it takes you to get out of resistance and to get rid of your limiting beliefs, okay? Because new timelines are available all of the time. Okay, you are able to like quantum leap at any moment in time. Things can happen at any moment. It doesn't need to take 10 years, it doesn't need to take 5 years. It can take an in the moment shift. Okay, however long it takes is however long you decide you keep believing your limitations. However long it takes is however long you hold on to that duplicitous energy in terms of what you desire. Okay, and releasing limitations is not just our limiting beliefs and resistance to our desires, okay? It's also your patterns of behavior, which we're going to talk about in our next training when we talk about embodiment, okay? So, it's your patterns of behavior, it's shadowy, egoic shit, it's our fears, it's like your low frequency ways of being, like, like subtle manipulation things that we do and our lacks of emotional intelligence and stuff like that. And then it's like, our sub identities. So, like, seeing yourself and acting in alignment with a lesser version of yourself, believing you're not capable and, behaving as someone who is incapable, seeing yourself as the person who can't have money and then behaving as someone who's not good with money, that kind of stuff. Anything that isn't in alignment with you being the version of yourself that has what you want, right? The highest, best, most evolved version of yourself, that if you've asked for something big is sitting on that frequency, and everything that you desire is to get you on that frequency. Does that make sense? Think of it like this. I had a lot of work to become this version of myself. The Toya that jumped on and did her first live training, well, that was a fucking disaster. My first Facebook Live was like hell raising. I didn't know how to work the damn thing, and my background put me into outer space, and that threw me off, and I was nearly hyperventilating and sweating, and it was scary, and I could barely handle my notes. I couldn't remember what I was doing. Like, it was not natural, easy, and flowy. I had to become this version of myself, okay? Like the version of me that was healing all of my past hurts and pains and like really waking up to my shadowy stuff that was going on and my behavior patterns and all of that kind of stuff. She's not the version that can hold what high level coach Toya can. So, I had to learn, I had to lead myself to become this version of me before I was available for the success, the clients, the lifestyle that is on this frequency, right? And so everything had brought me to this version, and everything is going to bring me to that next version as well. I still have a lot of work to do to get where I'm going, not because I'm not enough, okay? But it's because I'm here for a lifetime of this work, large scale impact, success, wealth, all of that kind of thing. And that's going to require constant movement forward in alignment with that. Just like you have work to get wherever you are going, okay? And that's the beauty of choosing something, choosing a big vision for your life, is it keeps you growing, it keeps you evolving, and it keeps you moving forward, okay? And it is, honestly, of course, this is the best part. The growth and the evolution is the best part, because it's not that we're not enough, it's that we can always be better, okay? Because there is always room to evolve as a human. What I knew 10 years ago is not what I know now. The person I was 10 years ago is not the person I am now, and thank God, because she was not a very nice person. It's our journeys on this earth, I think I said this the other day, to grow and to evolve, okay? To become advanced, to advance in our human nature, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of that kind of stuff. And I see a lot of people talking about this from the perspective of, you don't need to be fixed, you're perfect the way you are, yada, 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 yada. And I don't say this to make you doubt or ever feel bad about yourself, but some of us did actually need to fix a few things. Not because we aren't enough, but because we are, and we deserve better of ourselves, okay? For some of us, some things in us, like patterns, fears, thoughts, identities, beliefs, behaviors, pain, they weren't actually for the highest good of ourselves or for those around us. And that's actually okay. It's okay to admit that, and it's okay to want to grow out of that stuff, okay? That's our humanness, and it's exactly, what we're here to transcend, evolve, and the desires that are placed upon your heart are the things that activate the journey to do this. Okay, so sometimes we do need to move forward. Sometimes growth and evolution is the best thing in the world. So let me get stuck into our homework. Homework. I'm just going to bring my notes up so I can actually see the whole lot of them. So what I want you to do for your homework is get in touch with your desires, your limiting beliefs, and the reasons why you don't want it, and reframe it. Okay, so for each of the desires that you really want to manifest, I want you to ask yourself is, what limiting beliefs do I hold about this? Next question is, what do I do? Why don't I want it? Okay, that is the most important question you will ever ask yourself. Ever. Okay, because we want to get clear on what is in the way, and then we want to shift it. And we want to shift it by choosing to see it differently, okay? Choosing to see those limitations differently. Choosing not to believe them. Choosing not to buy into them, okay? Choosing no longer believing the stuff that makes you feel like shit, that tells you that you can't, okay? Because everything is available to you. I want you to choose instead to believe in the possibility, okay? I want you to reconcile the duality in your energy. So those reasons why you don't want it, you have to get to a point where you clear them, where you're like, actually, no, my reasons why I want it are more than the reasons why I don't want it. So I can clear these reasons why I don't want it, and then I can move forward, okay? And I've got some other questions here. This can clarify if you're like stuck on your limitations. So you can ask yourself, does it feel safe? It's like, yes, no. And then why? Okay. Do you believe that you can create this? Yes, no. Why? Are you certain that it will manifest? Yes, no. Why? Do you trust that you can hold it? Like, do you trust that you're the person capable of holding this manifestation, of actually receiving it, of being able to keep it? Because, sometimes a lot of the time we don't trust when it comes to like wealth, when it comes to money, that we don't trust that we are the people that can actually hold on to the money. Okay. We're afraid it's going to go away. So do you trust you can hold it? Yes, no. Why? Are you actually allowing it? A lot of the time we're disallowing our desires. Okay. Why wouldn't you want it? Why don't you want it? Best question you can ask yourself. What are you afraid of happening if you don't get it? And then your other question is, what are you afraid would happen if you did get it? Okay, so these are your clarifying questions. I would love to see someone post, or someone's, all of us, either in the Voxer chat or in the wall, your homework with us. Like, what are your desires? What are your limiting beliefs? What are the reasons why you don't want it? And how did you reconcile that? Let me know. I would love to know. So our next training is on Friday. Here is a reminder for you guys that the Voxer chat is only open for one more week. So if you want my personalized coaching and support, and we're doing little challenges inside of the challenge in the Voxer chat, okay? So if you want that like level of coaching, I would definitely find the Voxer post and jump in, because I know like half of you who are in here are in the Voxer chat. I suggest getting in there, okay? Because fucking magic happens. Fucking magic happens in there. And other thing is with the shares, please don't forget, if you're participating in the competition, to win the $100 cash, the $5,000 secret package, or a free course from me that you post, like if you're set to private and I can't see them, that you post on the post, like the little post, the little I am in one, that you just let me know that you've shared. Keep a track of your shares, and remember, if you do share, to tag me in it so that I see it if we're following each other. Otherwise, you can just screenshot it and chuck it on the post so that I can count that in the draw, because I don't want you to miss out on your entries. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but for whoever shares, and like say like you share it and like your friend Sally is like, oh my God, I love that, I'm going to sign up to that. And your friend Sally signs up, right? And when she hits this group, there's a little thing that says who like recommended this to you, and if your name goes in there, there's another draw, another entry, I mean. Anyway, I'm off. I'm going to go and do baby things. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming. I'm excited to see what comes through after this training. Ciao.